One more set of updates for you all today. Asia, Erica, do you want me to jump into these or did you guys want them? Okay,
Um, I mean, I can go through some of the first. Well,
go for it.
you can also go into some of this just so we can tag team on it. But with the
Yeah.
Maha Priorities Policy Update, do you want to acknowledge the fact that the grassroots effect of the People versus Poison rally was clearly demonstrably effective in terms of helping get the pesticide liability shields out of the House version of the Farm Bill? Very direct tie between that activation and the outcome there. That being said, the wins that contingency has had have largely been around the pesticides and hasn't translated to major wins in terms of regenerative ag or other areas that have been priorities. They're really having strong success in that one section, which I think speaks to what we've often discussed, which is there's kind of these factions within the MAHA organization. It's not necessarily a monolith and shouldn't be treated as such. So that group has been very effective, which is largely that like quote unquote Maha moms that are leading that charge. They have been the folks that we're in contact with, like Kelly Ryerson from American Regeneration. She has made the point that she is very willing to and has organized it such that they're very willing to call out the folks that are otherwise friendly to them in a very large way to their audiences and activate against them. So we're seeing that really play out effectively for those priorities. Um, and then the other thing that I just want to mention here, we did hear there was a convening at a event down in Texas over the weekend that RFK was at, and we did hear, I don't know how substantiated this is, so we'll see what comes of it, that there are plans for a three-agency stimulus for Region Ag in the works. This would be between HHS, EPA, and USDA. And it would be the number they threw around was 50 billion. So it would be a large package that they're talking about. This was a conversation had between RFK and Jimmy Emmons, so people who would be close to the matter. But there's nothing official that we've heard otherwise about this yet. So we will just keep our ears and eyes to the ground. And if anyone else hears anything, let us know.
That's really interesting. I always get concerned about those things, like who are they thinking they want to do regenerative agriculture? I mean, I don't know if others feel the same way, but I just get very suspicious, like those three agencies now that, I mean, I don't really trust EPA at this point. So I don't know. Anybody else have a thought on that? I just am curious.
Or HHS.
Or,
Sorry.
yeah, right. Same.
It seems like a very backdoor way to put RFK in charge of USDA. And it's interesting, and those of you who know me will be shocked about what I'm about to say, but the fact that they're cutting Brooke Rollins out is interesting. So, because there's been rumors that they want to boot her, they being the administration overall. So it's an interesting power grab and speaks, I think, to further consolidation of government agencies and giving RFK expanded powers. So
Well, isn't Jimmy Emmons? I mean, he's an advocate of regenerative, isn't he?
he is. No,
Mhm.
Jimmy, nothing. Jimmy is a great fellow. He's fantastic. He's done a lot of great work in this space. Again, strange bedfellows of us all this administration is making. Phoebe, I see your hand.
Yeah, I just had a quick question. I hadn't really heard that about Brooke Rollins potentially getting like pushed out of USDA. Is yeah, is it, could you give a little more context on that?
Yeah, I mean, and this is straight gossip from DC,
Totally,
but I've
totally.
heard it a few times. I've also heard that she wants to be the new White House chief of staff.
Oh,
And if
okay.
you see what they're blaming Susie Wiles for these days, like, we know
Yeah.
we're all waiting for the Saturday Night Massacre that's going to come when Trump fires half of the cabinet agencies. So just
Hmm.
where it hits. But yeah, this has been around for a minute or two. But yes, Secretary Rollins has aspirations.
Hmm.
Secretary Kennedy has
Hmm.
aspirations. Everybody's got aspirations.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are leaving before they have to release sensitive financial documents to Congress. So
For sure. It just made me think of I was listening to one of the appropriations hearings and I heard Brooke Rollins like answer a question with like if I'm still in this position next year. And that really that sounded an alarm bell
Hmm.
for
Yeah,
sure.
that sounds like a whole thing.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no, anything else on Maha? I will say, to be fair and balanced, while Maha had some wins last week, they had some losses. Casey Means was removed as the Surgeon General nominee and replaced with the woman who is the head of, gonna try to get her title right. Like, she's in charge of all of the imaging for the cancer centers, not at Mayo, but at one of the other big cancer institutes. So she's a real doctor who went to real medical school and practices on real patients. I see that as a win for not Maha. Um, there was also, I don't know if you guys just saw, the FDA just approved flavored vapes as being safe. And they accelerated that process, so that's being seen as a loss for Maha. So it's some really weird balancing is in terms of who has power, who doesn't have power. Do we ever know what's going on? But I'm willing to give the Maha moms credit for the Luna Act or the Luna Amendment. Aisha, did you want to jump into USDA reorg?
Sure. I think pretty self-explanatory here in terms of what's written up. Amidst, as just mentioned earlier, all the chaos that is happening continuously, amidst all of this, the USDA proposed reorganization is still moving ahead. So if you recall last year, a big aspect of this was just the idea that they wanted to get the staff out of DC and move people into these regional offices and hubs. And there was no clear plan of action or really justification as to why that would improve services or these programs. So as those plans are coming closer to a head, I know that there's been a lot of talk across different sectors around the negative impacts to programs anticipated. Most recently, a lot of the food system organizations have been talking about how this will impact like FSME and things like that. So yeah, just another aspect of the way that, you know, this administration's dismantling is having very on the ground effects that we're realizing, a couple of months or a year after the announcement is made, what that actually translates to. Mm-hmm. And in terms of the farmers, there was a letter that was sent, I want to say 3 weeks ago, which was good to see. 524 farmers from across the country signed on to a letter asking the USDA to respond to the request for appropriate staffing at NRCS and FSA in particular. But the letter, who I'm blanking, I don't know, Jess or Erica, if you remember, who organized it, did state that in general, USDA staffing should be brought back to appropriate levels, that this was really harming farmers' ability to do what they need to do and to get the support that this administration has promised them in so many other ways, but is now failing to uphold. As we know, some of that is by design.
Yep.
Any
Just one other thing to flag on the reorg is the union that represents those who work for USDA is actually getting into this as well. And they're, Peter, I don't know if you've heard anything on the legal piece of this, but as part of what that union has negotiated, there's a certain amount of slots for childcare, particularly at headquarters in DC. And the USDA is trying to eliminate that service contract. So there will be no childcare at USDA, which again, let's go after working moms, but also that is being seen as a violation of the union deal. So there could be a pause on that piece that could reverberate into not moving people. So it's a weird piece of the resistance that has risen up in this USDA reorganization fight. Anything that's sort of what we've got prepared. Yes, Phoebe, thank you for dropping that. the new Surgeon General nominee did write that book, and it has so she's got some ties or she's been adopted, but it's an interesting thread. Um, Anything else you guys want to share? Anything else happening in your space that we need to know about? There's a lot going on, and we're all just trying to figure out what is and isn't happening.
I have a question, and I'll categorize it as a dumb question. And what are your best, just like general sources, not your personal sources, but your general sources for following all this stuff? What would you point me to?
See, I think for this, we probably looked at, I mean, we follow regularly variety of things. I mean, I don't pay for this Politico subscription anymore, unfortunately. So, every Monday morning I get it, it's like Politico morning, not morning ag or something.
The
It
weekly
comes
ad.
Weekly
on,
ag.
Yeah,
the
I
week
get that one.
ag comes in on
Yeah.
Monday. You know, any blogs that come out from like so newsletters from
Mhm.
EWG,
And
uh,
so
Farm Action is always really good. Uh,
Mhm.
I get
so
that.
yeah, NSAC,
Yeah. The Food Fix is also a great newsletter.
Okay.
Um, I also only get the free version. If anybody wanted to get together and get a group subscription and share it, let me know because I'm always looking for someone that has any wiggle room in their budget. Um, that one's good. I think Erica, Aish, and I are also part of a really weird and fabulous bipartisan group called Strange Barn Fellows, where I think the only thing we all agree on politically is that farmers are awesome and need to be funded to farm better. Otherwise, we are a desperate group of far left, far right, somewhere in the middle. But that's a really useful group because we've got tax folks in there. We've got, we've got your more standard policy people in there. We've got economists. Really great group. If you're ever interested, that's an every other week call, and I think we can nominate people to join that group. Um, Also, I'm not gonna lie, I learn a lot on TikTok and I learn a lot on Instagram if your algorithm is set right from folks on the ground doing this work. So, more of the citizen journalist type folks or the, non-attached journalists who are running their own shops. Aaron Parnas is a great one.
Those are great tips. I really appreciate that. I appreciate everybody's input. I'm doing a lot of it. And I also see AgriPulse on Fridays.
AgriPulse is good. Yep.
and LinkedIn, obviously. Callie Eidenberger, following her
Yes.
on LinkedIn is great for just very big, just a lot of general details about ag policy.
Anything else, my friends? Anything we can be doing to help you? Anything?
No, thank you. This is fantastic.
Um, I apologize. I wasn't able to figure out how to raise my hand. I'm not seeing the thing down below.
No
Um,
worries.
yeah, Chris Snow with the United States Composting Council. But we are working with our lobbyists to get the compost caucus reestablished and hopefully making some additional headway in the area of compost. So as we get more rolled out there, we will release information on it.
Yes, please keep us looped in there. That's fantastic. And my kids really love to play with the worms in the compost. So we're big fans.
There you go. All good bugs there. All good
All
bugs.
all but yes. One thing I did drop in for any of you, if you want to dive more into not only policy, but also what is happening in the ag space, Soil and Climate Alliance is having its in-person on-farm summer meeting, June 16th through 18th. We will be hosted by Rodale. So we will be up in Pennsylvania. It's 2.5 days. I'm biased because it's my meeting, but it's really fantastic. everybody, farmers, brands, retailers, researchers, policy people, activists, just the whole swath really focusing on how we scale this system up. So the link's there. If you have any questions, let me know. And otherwise, I think we can let everyone continue on with it's Wednesday, right? Yeah, Wednesday afternoon. So stay tuned for more as more happens. And thanks, guys.